PR can really make or break your narrative as an NBA player or as an athlete as a whole. There's a lot of discourse going on every single day online now that everyone's able to put their opinion out there. So there's some players that literally can do no wrong and they have just god level PR, and there are players that do everything right but people still shit on them. Okay, they can do nothing right in the majority of fans' eyes, even if they are doing everything right or most of the time right. They're still in the fucking gutter. As you see today, we're ranking NBA players PR levels. We got god level PR, PR working OT, good PR, average PR, bad PR, horrible PR, and your PR's in the fucking gutter. You need to hire a new team because there's nasty discourse around you with the fans. All right? Understood? Starting off, we got none other than Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo, low key, he's got some good PR, man. Like, it's not working OT and it's not god level. And it's above average because every year there's a push for Bam to be the DPOY. He has never won it, okay? But every year he is so close. He's right there. And I feel like he gets some slack for not having an offensive bag, but he was never the guy in Miami. It was Jimmy Butler getting all the flack, or Tyler Hero, I was going to say Draymond Green. Bam is like the Draymond where he'll do all the ugly stuff, okay? He's never going to be the focal point, but he has good enough reception around the league to where they kind of just throw him a bone and be like, yes, you'll be a perennial top 5, top 3 DPOY in the DPOY voting. There's nothing, he has had some stinker ass games. He has developed his offensive game. Zilch. My guy has not really developed his fucking offensive game as much as you really would think. Like, honestly, you really want him to take that next step as an offensive player, develop a shot, but it's just not there. Sometimes he's way too passive, but that just goes under the hood. Not a lot of fans talk about it. They just know Bam as one of the best defenders in the league, and that's all. So it's above average just because of the conversations he's in on the defensive side. No one really talks about his offensive game besides, the few Heat fans, or the few Heat fans I see on Twitter, okay? Moving on. Giannis. Low-key, Giannis be having some horrible PR, man. This dude's got dog shit PR, okay? It's not in the gutter. There is, I'm telling you, there's a tier. It's a huge jump, low-key, from horrible to PRs in the fucking gutter. Giannis, one of the all-time greats, a top 15 player of all time. Top 15 player of all time. All right? This man has had some just stinky-ass teams he's had to carry. He does his job. He is getting robbed. The MVP fatigue is real with Giannis. Okay? There's a few other players in the last 10 years that MVP fatigue has affected. Jokic, LeBron, probably... I don't know. But Jokic, LeBron, Giannis, they are the big three when it comes to MVP fatigue. There is no way Giannis should only have 2 MVPs when he's putting up the numbers he's fucking putting up. I don't care. Look at the team he has. I don't care. It just makes it zero sense when you consider the defensive side of the ball and offense. This man is averaging 32, 11, and 6. I get Jokic's numbers are fucking crazy, and he is probably the rightful MVP this year. I don't care. I don't need to get into that. But people be talking about Giannis like he is he's washed up. He is still the second best player in the league. I don't care. It's Jokic and then Giannis. Any other night, it honestly could flip flop. Sometimes, Giannis was the MVP favorite going into the second half of the season, okay, and then the Bucks started to fall. But Giannis, dude, he is like Shaq with, I was gonna say LeBron-esque, to where LeBron obviously can put a team on his back. Shaq, dominance. You kind of mix them two, and you kind of got a cousin of You know, and there's Giannis. He's the weird cousin of them too. But nobody gives this man his flowers. Genuinely, nobody gives this man his flowers. They think he doesn't care about basketball. The media and fans are starting to turn on his personality, which I don't really understand. I think the guy is funny. You know, maybe I'm like not looking too in depth about it or too deep about it. I think fucking Giannis is hilarious, man. But for someone to be treated as poorly as he does, what has he done wrong? Like, realistically, what has he done wrong to be treated the way that he has been treated in the past few years? Like, on the come up, yes, he's got one of the most beloved stories. His rags to riches story. Wins the MVPs back-to-back years. He wins a ring. DPOY, like... But for some reason, there's so much disrespect around his name. This is the offseason of Giannis, and I'm telling you, the narrative will hopefully flip. Whatever team he gets traded to, if he gets traded, hopefully that helps the narrative get flipped, because Giannis does not deserve this disrespect he's been getting from people as a top 15 player of all time. I don't care. He is the second best power forward of all time. Like, that's crazy. That's really crazy to think about. Like, dude, look, like, I got current players on this list, but think of Dirk. Dirk's God level PR. Like, Dirk, name one Dirk hater besides me, okay? Like, a lot of people have Dirk as the second best power forward of all time, which I think is crazy. He's the fourth best. He is. If you're ranking power forwards, he is fourth. Tim Duncan, Giannis, KG, Dirk. You cannot, like, you just can't argue that. You really can't. But all because of narratives. Dirk is very beloved. Giannis, for someone who is that high all time, does not get the same love as his own peers, where he ranks all time. Like, I really don't understand it. Moving on, enough of my Giannis rant. We got DeAndre Ayton. He's got some bad PR, man. It's low-key could have been horrible. Like, he's closer to horrible than average, just because, you know, the whole fallout. He was the number one overall pick, the whole fallout with the Suns. Him and Booker didn't get along. Him and the coach didn't get along. Like, coach fucking hated his ass. I think it was Monty Williams. And so they ship his ass to Portland. He really hasn't done much. Like, I wouldn't call him a bust. Like, I don't like using the word bust on players, especially, you know, not that he's injury prone, because he's not, but like, a bust is like, he's still playing, he's still getting, I don't even know what the fuck he averages here, I'm gonna be honest, but he's not, you know, averaging 3 points a game. He's not that good as an NBA player, okay? Obviously, he's miles better than, like, me and you, like, no duh, but as an NBA player, he has not lived up to the hype of the first overall pick, and it's just, you know, it's just snowballed ever since the finals that he was in with Phoenix. The PR around Ayton has just snowballed into this big thing where it's not good. You don't want Ayton on your team. Skill-wise, you know, maybe he's a good guy. Who knows? He was one of my favorite players coming into the league. I have an Ayton jersey, but ever since the whole Monty Williams issues, the Devin Booker didn't really get along with him, it just kind of snowballed into, now it's just kind of like DeAndre Ayton, if that makes sense. Like, it's not horrible. Like, ain't no one going out of their way to really shit on Ayton, but it's just like, if you bring him up or you talk about him, it's kind of that yuck face that you look. Moving on. I was going to say Giannis. Zion Williamson. Zion's PR, man, it's low-key. No, dude, you got to put that shit in the gutter, man. You got to put the Zion in the fucking gutter. I was overthinking this, like, low-key. Putting him in either horrible or bad, but, like, dude, really, man? Dude, this dude's a freak. He is a whole-ass freak. He was at them freak-offs. Zion, what were you doing in them text chats? What were you doing in them chat logs, bro? We seen them all. Two thick white bitches. What are you doing, Zion? You cannot let that shit get out to the public. That's horrible. Everyone knows you as the freak-off. Like, I kind of overthought that. And you get the injury. You're hurt every single year, okay? You don't want to play for the Pelicans. We fucking know that. You come into the season in shape, and then you lose yourself. I don't understand it. There's nothing this man can do to get out of this fucking shithole. Like, there are layers, low key. There's like layers to your PR being in the fucking gutter, and there are definitely players like with worse PR than Zion, but like he has shot himself in the foot. That's like his biggest thing is he does it to himself, dude. Stop eating so much as a fat mofo. Stop eating so fucking much, dude. As a freak, stop being a fucking freak so much. Just hoop. Come on, man. Everyone wants to see Zion hoop. That's all we fucking want, is to see a fully healthy Zion hoop. But no, you want to be a freak, and you want to eat, okay? You get hurt all the time. Like I said, these guys are all probably good people. But Zion, dude, there's nothing you can do at this point in time to get your PR out of that fucking gutter, man. Everyone knows you as the eater, as the injury guy, most injury-prone player in the league. Everyone knows you as the freakiest mofo in the fucking league. Like, there's nothing he can do right now to get that shit out of the gutter. When you bring up Zion's name, it's just nasty. It's jokes, it's memes, it's just nasty. Okay? He is an all-star. He is an all-NBA potential. Shit, I want the Timberwolves to trade for his ass. But his PR is in the fucking gutter. Given what he's done, given his track record, given everything this man has done. Like, dude, stop doing it to yourself, Zion. That's all I can say. Like, god damn, man. Another player. Bad PR, okay? LaMelo Ball. I would say he kind of does it to himself. Given his play style is not for everybody. Given the Hornets are still so dog shit. Okay, you're supposed to change a franchise around when you're picked that high. When you are an all-star player. Like, he has made the all-star team. He should have been an all-star starter this year. He got snubbed. He wasn't a starter or a reserve. Okay? I do not remember if he was an injury replacement or not. But if not, that's crazy. Genuinely, that is fucking crazy. He gets hurt a lot. And coming into the league, it was LaMelo Ball mania. Everyone wanted LaMelo Ball, or wanted to be a LaMelo Ball fan. The old heads, you could definitely tell there was a rift, and it just kind of snowballed because you see the talent in LaMelo. You see the numbers he puts up, but it doesn't really translate to winning basketball. And you obviously can see that given Charlotte's track record the past few years since they've had him. And he's constantly getting hurt. Every other season, he's out for the season. Like, he's had some really bad ankle issues. The hype for LaMelo coming into his rookie year, winning Rookie of the Year, or after his rookie year, like, it was pretty good. It was, like, in the good PR range. Like, you're feeling good as a LaMelo fan. It should be in the good. Like, realistically, it should be. He should be having, like, good PR. But this man does not get talked about. He is disrespected a little too much, but it is warranted. Giannis definitely gets way more disrespect given how talented he is and where he ranks among the best players. LaMelo, it's kind of like the Zion, but definitely not to the levels of Zion, because who the fuck cares about the Charlotte Hornets? Like, they're two fans. I'm sorry, Charlotte, but, like, realistically, the only reason he's got a big, like, following is because he's a ball. Okay? Like, that's just it, man. And it's not, his PR is not to where it should be. He got disrespected this year. I will say, the All-Star shit, that was shenanigans, man. He got hella disrespected. He should have been an All-Star starter or reserve right away at the very least. To not get that with the numbers he put up, I don't care if you're not winning basketball games. The all-star players should be the best players. I don't understand, man. I don't understand the pick and choose between this guy's got good numbers, this team's winning. LaMelo Ball should have been an all-star starter or reserve right away. So that's just crazy with the numbers he put up. To not get that, you got some badass PR, man. Next, his brother. And low-key is just average. Like, no one's really talking bad about Lonzo. We know what he is. Who knows how well he'll get back to playing basketball given the last few years and his injuries. But like LaMelo coming to the league, the ball hype, it was way much more when Lonzo came in the league than LaMelo. He obviously hasn't really lived up to expectations, but a healthy Lonzo, everyone wants a healthy Lonzo on their team. Like, he would be crazy. He's like, I don't even know, man. Mix like Alex Caruso with, I'm trying to think. Dude, mix like Alex Caruso with Ricky Rubio with goddamn, man, I don't even know. I'm trying to think, like, low key. I don't know, man. But no one's talking bad. No one's pushing a Lonzo Ball narrative simply because he's hurt. Everyone knows when he's healthy what kind of player he is, and it's not a bad thing. Even if he was picked really high, as he was the second pick in the draft, like, no one's talking about Lonzo as a bust, which is kind of crazy, honestly, like, in its own self. It's kind of crazy, and no one's like, yo, Lonzo was, like, low-key a bust compared to some other players that people like to call busts. But it's just, right now, it's just average because everyone knows what he can be when he's healthy. So, given injury and given how much people like Lonzo, you know, he's just got some average PR right now. Next up, Paulo low-key's got bad PR. Like, low-key, he has got some bad PR. It's the very niche fans. I feel like it's a very roller coaster ride, or been a very roller coaster ride with Banchero since he's came in the league. He was very underrated, and a lot of people said he was the most underrated, most least talked about first overall pick in NBA history. And then he just explodes onto the scene, averaging 20 points as a rookie. This year, Magic in the playoffs. He was hurt a good chunk of the year, but when he was healthy, he was hooping. And I know it did not translate to Magic wins. They were like better with him off the court, or like him while he was injured and out, than with him in, which is crazy. Whenever people try to push that narrative about an all-star player or an all-star level player, all NBA type player, that's just some nasty ass narrative. I don't care how you look at it. It's like a couple years back with the Grizzlies when Ja was out the entire year or out for most of the year. The Grizzlies were going crazy without him. He comes back and they're mid. Like, it takes time to acclimate. There's chemistry involved. There's just so much involved. But you cannot sit here and tell me that the Magic, the fucking Orlando Magic, are better without Banchero in their starting lineup than when he's out. Like, I don't care what the fuck their win-loss ratio says, what the stats say. You can crumple up them fucking stats and throw them away, you nerds, okay? Banchero is an all-NBA type player. He's an all-star player. He gets disrespected way too much. He's had some crazy highs. The start of the season, people were riding him high. Like, the Banchero hype was at an all-time high when he was going crazy the first, 2 months of the season, and then it just dipped off. Yes, he got hurt, but even when he came back, it dipped and it stayed there, and it's still staying there. And as someone who is the number one overall pick, performing at an all-star level, who can be an all-NBA player, who is turning the fucking Orlando Magic. Dude, the Orlando Magic, he is turning them around. They have not been relevant since Dwight Howard was there. That's crazy. Crazy. Dwight Howard's probably been on 6 teams since Orlando, man. Yes, he's retired now, but really think about it. A washed-up Dwight won a ring in 2020 with the Lakers. Dwight Howard hasn't played with the Magic in over 10 years. Probably more than that. 15 years. Man, it's not 2020. It's 2020 fucking 5. Banchero is making the Magic relevant. Yes, he has help. Franz is cracked. He could be an all-star player himself. All right? It's not just Banchero turning the Magic around. They're slowly building a good roster, and I really could see them low-key on the Thunder trajectory. Completely different styles and completely different teams. But they are low-key like the Eastern Thunder. That's like, if you just stay with me now, hold my hand, walk with me, see the vision, they are the Eastern Thunder in a couple years. I don't know. To me, that just makes sense. All right? I'm not saying him or Franz, Banchero or Franz could be MVP type level like Shai. But for the player he is, for the where he got drafted first overall, what he's doing to the Magic, he's got some bad PR, man. Like, the disrespect on his name. Whenever a fan or someone says this, well, they're better with him off the court. That's when you know you got some bad PR, man. Like, That's when it's the most telltale thing, all right, that you got baseline bad PR. Moving on. God damn, we got another one. Low-key, I'm sorry, bro. Trae Young, fire your entire PR team. Whatever the fuck you got going on, fire them all. The Trae Young disrespect is crazy. I understand the disdain, the dislike towards his play style. Okay? I understand it's not appeasing. But you cannot sit here and tell me someone who averages 30 points a game, someone who averages 10 assists a game, he has had high turnover seasons, yes. But dude, he is their focal point on offense. He is one of the most clutch players in the league. He is not the best on defense. Okay, I can admit he is a cone on defense. But still, in an NBA driven by offense, he produces at such a high level. And I understand the foul baiting early in his career. He's definitely gotten better. But this man has had some of the most iconic moments. And I'm not using iconic moments as a deter against his play style. And if you want to say he's played poorly given his production, he has had some iconic moments, man. He led the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals. The fucking Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals, dude. Trae Young. Dude, his whole beef with the New York Knicks, that was insane. Like, that was fun as hell to watch from an outside perspective. That was fucking fun seeing Trae Young, and the beef is still there. New York does not like Trae Young, and Trae Young does not like New York. Maybe because New York is such a fucking media empire, that's why his PR is, taking a hit. I don't think New York should fucking control his PR that much, or Knicks fans that much. But Trae Young has had some iconic moments, man, and he is a hooper. Like, dude, if this man was in the early 2000s, he would be your dad's, your uncle's, your big cousin's favorite player, okay? He's a walking bucket. He is one of the best passers in the league, all while being one of the smaller starting players in the league, which is crazy. He's inefficient, yes. Sometimes he shot chucks, yes. But deep range as well, he has had some crazy moments. His shivering emote that he likes to do. He hits from Curry range consistently. He really does. He's like that. It's crazy how shit Trae Young's PR is. He's not really hurt ever. He has led the Hawks to the playoffs, even if they don't make it far every single season. Dude, he has led them to an Eastern Conference Finals. People want to bring up leading your team to the conference finals. People joke about Embiid every fucking day about not bringing teams to the Eastern Conference Finals. And MVP, Joel Embiid, people joke, okay? And he probably still, he does it. Joel Embiid still has better PR than Trae Young, who has led a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. Someone who has accomplished as much as he has. Yes, he doesn't have the accolades. He's not an All-NBA type player. He could be. Realistically, he could be. I'm not saying that he's not. To me, he is. He is an All-NBA type player. I would want him on my team. If I'm building a team, I would take Trae Young. I would trade for Trae Young if I was an NBA GM and all the pieces fit. The disrespect he's getting for being a 30-10 guy, a 28-12 guy, he's like that. I saw a tweet the other day saying Halliburton is everything Trae Young should have been. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's just... No, Trae Young, even if he didn't advance to the finals, right now the Pacers are up 3-1, looking like they're gonna go to the finals. Honestly, if Trae Young's on that Pacers team, I can see them being in a very similar situation. I really could. Halliburton has played flawless. He has played in a perfect postseason. He really has played a perfect postseason in a watered-down East. I have to say that, as stupid as it is. I get they beat the 1 seed. A lot of people were saying it's one of the weaker 1 seeds in the past 10 years. All right? Really think about the narratives. Trae Young on the Pacers team, I really can see them, if you put Trae Young on this Pacers team, I really could see them being in the Eastern Conference Finals. I really could. I don't understand the disrespect this man gets for being such a high-level player. Moving on. Desmond Bane. Dude, I'm sorry. Ain't no one give a fuck about no Desmond Bane. His PR was pretty good when Ja was out, or the first, couple years they made the playoffs when they were saying he could be the new Splash Bro. Like, low key, he could, his little T-Rex arms, could be one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. And he kind of fell off. I'm not going to lie. No one's really high on Desmond Bane right now. It's not bad because no one's like, fuck that Desmond Bane guy. Like, he's kind of buns, but no one's giving him his props. If this was 3 years ago, he would definitely be a tier above. But no one's talking about no goddamn Desmond Bane right now. Next, another one, no one in the big 2025 is talking about no goddamn Harrison Barnes, okay? If this was goddamn 9 years ago, 10 years ago, it'd be a completely different story. But he is like one of the most average players in a good way, because there's good average and bad average, in my opinion. He is one of the most average players in a good way in the league. You would love to have him on your bench. He is what he is. Everyone knows what a Harrison Barnes is, okay? Like I said, there's no discourse. No one's fucking arguing on Twitter about Harrison Barnes, all right? No one's getting on a podcast yapping about Harrison Barnes. Moving on. Scottie Barnes. Scottie Barnes, man, this is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one. I'm going to put him in average. Low-key, not bad. He's not good. He's average. Because it's very back and forth with Scottie. That's what I feel like. Very back and forth. I feel like he's a player where you either hate him or love him, and it all kind of just medians out and equals out into this kind of perfect cohesion as to where LaMelo Ball, Banchero, you can definitely see it's more leaning towards the negative side. Bam, you can definitely see more leaning towards the positive side. Scottie Barnes gets both of it, but it kind of just middles out and evens out. He's an all-star. Who knows if he's ever going to be an all-NBA type player. I think he's pretty goddamn good. I like Scottie Barnes, okay? The jokes that get thrown at him, okay, I might reconsider low-key. I totally forgot about all the autistic jokes that get thrown around about Scottie Barnes. We do not like those jokes. We do not like the autistic Scottie Barnes jokes. It makes him sad, okay? Stop that. So, I really did forget about that, man. And he is the butt of those fucking jokes so much. But I'm going to keep him at average. I really think it's just average. Ah, shit, fuck that, dude. No one gets... Okay, it's bad. His PR is bad, all right? He has not beaten the autistic allegations. He really hasn't. We're moving Scottie Barnes down to bad. He has not beaten the autistic allegations to the majority of the fans, to the mass of the fans, all right? Whenever someone talks about Scottie Barnes, a casual talks about Scottie Barnes, it's probably the, did you see, he's so autistic. Like, bro, we do not fuck with them jokes, all right? Scottie Barnes is for the people. He's funny as shit. Low-key, Scottie Barnes might be the most unironic, funny player in the league. Like, we all support Scottie Barnes on this channel. We love Scottie Barnes. Stop Scottie Barnes hate. Hashtag stop Scottie hate, all right? But yeah, his PR is bad. I'm not going to lie, I forgot about all them jokes. If this was 2 years ago, it would be in the horrible PR. That's all you saw. It's definitely died down. I think he has spoken up about it, and he really doesn't like them. Yeah, he acts, silly sometimes, I will say, like, obviously. But a couple years ago, it'd be in the horrible or gutter, man. He was the butt of every NBA joke all the time. He was in a new meme, in a new edit, every single time you refresh the timeline. Moving on. Oh, dude. Dude, speaking of someone who's got some horrible PR, Jason fucking Tatum, all right? It's not I really don't think it's in the gutter as much as people want to say and admit. Like, I feel like a good chunk of people, if they were doing this list, they'd have Jason Tatum in the lowest tier, one of the lowest players, in the league. But I really don't think it's that bad. Like, yes, he didn't really play much in the Olympics. That was an all-time bad. But he was hooping. Like, this season, he was hooping. He didn't win Finals MVP. Like I said, if this was probably a year ago, his PR's in the fucking gutter. Like, his Olympic run was an all-time low for Jason Tatum. I feel like he's redeemed himself a little bit. He is corny, and I don't like calling players corny. Like, but he really is. He's fucking corny. Okay, from the finals, we did it, bro. Get out. We do not fuck with that, man. No matter the backstory, bro. Like that, it was a little cheesy, but it's more so. I feel like a casual's perspective, as someone just getting into the NBA, or like, you know, the very casual NBA fan, they think Tatum is fun to shit on Tatum, and they think he's not as good as he really is. This dude is going to be a first-team All-NBA player. He's made the first-team All-NBA multiple times. He's an NBA champion. Like, yes, those don't matter when it comes to people talking about you and your PR and your reception around the league from fans. But I really think if this was a year ago, because it's still fun to joke on Tatum. Like, he is still the butt end of a lot of jokes. He may not perform up to the standard to where people want him to be, simply because, you know, he didn't win the NBA Finals, MVP. He didn't play much in the Olympics. You know, it's just, like I said, if this was a year ago, Tatum's would be one of the bottom ones. But I really think he has redeemed himself just by staying out of the news so much and, you know, not being as corny as much as he has been in the past years. So I think he's redeemed himself since the Olympics. Like I said, all-time. That is an all-time gutter, all-time horseshit PR performance from Jason Tatum. He was going on, you know, talking about it, saying how he felt disrespect. It was bad. It was a bad look for Tatum, but I think since he's, you know, stopped doing so much, that's helped him. Even though he's at the end of some jokes most of the time, or people don't see his talent most of the time. Moving on, we got Brad Beal. I think Brad Beal's average right now, he has been pretty fucking dookie since he's been on the Suns, but like, to the casual fan, I feel like they're talking about him like, oh, he's not that bad. He's like Bradley Beal. He's averaging 20. Like, or he's, you know, he's that guy. He's the all-star, you know. Bradley Beal, I'm telling you, this dude has played dog shit. He was dog shit this past year for the Suns. All right? But just not a word. I mean, maybe, you know, he's just not a big enough name. Even when he was on the Wizards, he really just wasn't ever a big name. You ask a casual who the best Wizards player of the past 15 years was, they're going to say John Wall. Like, but low-key, it was Bradley Beal. Like, I don't care what you think. It was low-key Bradley Beal. So they know him as what he is. He's an all-star player. Oh, he's the guy that can get you a bucket. He's a bucket getter. But no one's, you know, propping him up anymore. He was one of the most underrated players consecutive years. He wasn't getting talked about enough. He was getting disrespected. You know, so his PR kind of went up, and then it kind of went down because the Wizards were such dog shit. And then he goes to the Suns, and it kind of his PR ticked up a little bit, and the Suns just underperformed, and it never really dipped because Booker's the fall guy, Durant's the fall guy, the coach is the fall guy. You know, you can look at even past Suns players when he wasn't there, like Ayton was the fall guy. Chris Paul, I don't really know if he was a fall guy per se. You know, Bradley Beal is kind of just, he's just there. He's just living. He's just accepted it. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think he gives a shit. He said he's playing basketball, which he loves. He's making fucking more money than any of us will have. So I really don't think he cares. And I don't think the average fan cares to talk about Bradley Beal. They want to remember him as one of the most underrated players and not a part of the Suns' issues, even if he is a big part of the Suns' issues. Next, we got another Phoenix Sun. The man I just talked about, Devin Booker. I think it's definitely not horrible. It's bad. Devin Booker has some bad PR. All right. Before he made that finals run, it would low key be in the PR work in OT. Like the Devin Booker narrative before that, when they made the finals. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy for someone like Devin Booker, I will say. All right. But now it's gotten old. The Suns were dog shit this year. They got swept by the Wolves last year. They didn't perform up to the super team, if you want to call them a super team standard. He really just, You know what you're getting with Devin Booker. You're getting a 27 points a night from him, his 7 assists, and that's about it. All right? He played his role. I will say he sacrificed his role so much on the Olympics teams and on the Suns last year when they added Durant. Like, Durant was the focal point. He played really well in the Minnesota series last year when they got swept. And this man, he was the unsung hero of the Olympics. He took a backseat. He was that glue guy, which is crazy to call him a glue guy. You know, it may be easy on the Olympics, but he really was. Devin Booker was that guy. He was the glue guy. He was the unsung hero. Low-key, he was the unsung hero of the U.S. Olympic teams last summer. But people, I think, expected more from Booker coming off a finals run, especially when you add Durant, especially when you add Bradley Beal, and it just hasn't worked out. Who knows whose fault it truly is? I don't think you can point the finger at one single person, but I think since Booker's been with Phoenix for so long, he is one of the best Phoenix Suns of all time. The blame's just going to go on his shoulders, and so now that the Suns are underperforming, the past 2 years have underperformed, more fingers are starting to get pointed at Booker, and the once beloved player is kind of taking a backseat, especially when you get the Ant. You know, people were saying Booker was the best shooting guard in the league for a time, but now you got the young guys coming up. You got Ant. Trying to think of some other ones, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, you got the younger players coming up. Donovan Mitchell, he's not obviously young, but people want to say he leapfrogged Booker, which he might have, or might have been in the same category in the past few years, but Booker might have edged him out. So, I don't know. I just don't think his PR, it's definitely dipped. It's more average than horrible. But that's just what I think, man. Moving on, another one. Low-key Jaylen Brown. Low-key Jaylen Brown is, he low-key just got some average PR. We're still chasing that OT, that God level, even another good PR. I sense a common theme when it comes to the NBA, and it's a lot of hatred, which is very true, and I very, very much don't like that about the NBA. It's a very hate-fueled league, a very hate-fueled fan base, and Jaylen Brown, there's a lot of jokes around him, yes. He can't dribble with the right. He can't, he has no offensive bag. Watching a Jaylen Brown-led offense it's an eyesore, whatever. This man did win Finals MVP. He has balled out, and it's just, no one's overhyping Brown. Like, they gave him a bag. Obviously, they gave him one of the highest paid contracts in NBA history. But definitely Tatum gets way more flack. But I think Tatum definitely does it to himself because of how much more people know about him, or how much more he puts himself out there to be hated on, as where Brown doesn't really do that. He's a lot more reserved and doesn't show himself, his personality as much as like Jason Tatum. So for someone who won a Finals MVP, which is a very, very, very fucking prestigious award, no one really gives a shit, which is crazy. It's more just jokes on Tatum. So no one's really giving Jaylen Brown his flowers, but when he has bad games and when he performs bad, you will know about it a lot more than when Jaylen Brown is playing well, which is kind of crazy, but that's from my sense, what I can really understand. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, it's not too good, it's not too bad. You know what Jaylen Brown is, an all-NBA type player, an all-star type player, but he's not getting propped up any more than he's not getting propped down. Next. Jalen Brunson, he's kind of got some bad PR right now. They're down 3-1. The flops are outrageous. If this was at the beginning of the season, or even, the beginning of the playoffs, he would be in he'd be in the high levels of PR. But right now, at this very moment, he is carrying the Knicks. He really is. Him and Cat are putting the Knicks on their back this playoffs. Brunson especially, one of the clutchest players in the league. He won Clutch Player of the Year award. Obviously, he's a fucking hooper. Jalen Brunson's a goddamn demon, but people, they don't like the flopping. They don't like the flailing. People are sick of that shit, and goddamn it, so am I, all right? I'm fucking sick of it. It gets annoying. all these players that flail, that flop, that foul bait. All right, we're done. We hate foul baiting. All right, we're done with that shit. So this playoffs was really eye-opening to the fan, I think, for Brunson. A lot of people, honestly, a lot of more people I feel like are starting to dislike Brunson's flopping, even more than Free Throw Merchant Shy. Like, I really think people are like, okay, like, Shies are ridiculous, but, like, when you see Brunson's, it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, this is not hoops. It's unethical as hell. Brunson has an unethical as hell hoop play style, but he is leading the Knicks for how much he has led the Knicks. Comebacks, game winners, just clutch shots in general, literally being the fucking clutch player of the year. You got to have some level of PR to get propped up to where you are, but no one's talking about Brunson as he's, like, realistically, no one's talking about him as, like, a top 3 guard, a top 5 guard, point guard, shooting guard, whatever, just guard in general, like, which is kind of crazy. I really think that it's back in the day, you always had you're comparing Curry to Westbrook to Harden. Who's the best guard? I think because those guys were all-time greats. Not saying Brunson isn't an all-time great or could be an all-time great, but I just really think we're at a weird position in the NBA where it's a changing of the guard, all right? Give it 2 more years, and I think those discussions, the Chris Paul, Deron Williams, the Derrick Rose, Deron Williams, Rajon Rondo, like, people were talking about the best guards all the time back in the day. Now, no one really gives a shit. No one really talks about that. The best small forward 10 years ago, who was the best? Kawhi, KD, LeBron. Like, there was a lot of discussion around the best players at each position, where now it's kind of fallen off. Like I said, a changing of the guard. And Brunson does not get the flowers he really does. Like, he really does not get the flowers. Even if he's a foul baiter, he really does not get the flowers he deserves for turning this goddamn Knicks team around, becoming the focal point, becoming the clutch player of the year. Just because the play style, all right? I really think Brunson deserves more flowers, but given his antics in the playoffs, people are starting to turn a leaf on Brunson. They really are, and it's kind of sad, but it is kind of warranted. Moving on. Low key. Dude, this ain't even fucking low key. What am I saying? High key. God level PR. Are you fucking kidding me? Jimmy Butler? Dude. He's walking around like he's Teflon. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, do not get me started about this Jimmy Butler glaze. It's definitely, dude, he shit the bed in the playoffs this year on the Warriors. He shit the fucking bed. Not a peep out of anybody. Not a fucking peep. This is Jimmy Butler. You need him to win. So-called a guy who's been in the finals twice. He led the Heat to the finals. I will say that. But really, what the fuck has this man done? Really? I understand leading a team to the finals. I don't care, man. That he led them to the finals twice, okay? 1 year was during the bubble where everyone wants to shit on the bubble. Everyone wants to shit on the Lakers ring for the bubble, but people give Jimmy Butler so much fucking props to leading teams that he did to the finals twice. That's impressive, I will say. It's cool. But goddamn it, this man can do no wrong. He literally will fart on a fucking mic and people will be like, oh my god, like he's literally Jordan. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The whole antics he did with the Timberwolves. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the Timberwolves fan coming out of me. The shit he fucking did on the Timberwolves or at the infamous Timberwolves practice, so fucking corny, dude. It is so fucking ridiculous, and people will glaze him to no ends for this shit. For the stupid antics, for the fake tough guy shit he does, people will fucking glaze this man. He can do no wrong. He is a winning-esque basketball player, but really, what the fuck has this man done? He's never a first-team All-NBA type player. He's never going to be, ever was, and in an MVP conversation. You know who was? Paul George. Crazy, I know. Who's got some dog shit PR? Who, if Paul George did that shit, even when Paul George was the man on Indiana, or he was the third in MVP voting in OKC, if he pulled the same shit Jimmy Butler did, he'd be fucking clowned. So many players, 99% of the players. Dude, imagine if fucking LeBron pulled that shit that he did at that practice and just blew everything up. Or his fallout with the 76ers. or his fallout with the Heat, or who's the next fucking fallout. Like, you see a fucking pattern. You see what I'm saying? But people will glaze this man to no ends. People will not say that he's toxic. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, look at the run he had with Miami and the fucking nasty ass fallout. This dude, I'm telling you, who's walking around like he thinks he's Pac. He's walking around like he's Teflon. You are not. Jimmy Butler, bro. The glaze on Jimmy Butler needs to fucking stop. It's disgusting. It's fucking gross for how much this man is not done. I don't like when people say, oh, he's a winner. Basketball, dude, in basketball, you need a team. No one man besides fucking LeBron. All right? No one man besides LeBron is leading a team to a finals. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It really is. Jimmy Butler has had good teams around him that led him to the finals. The team, it was the team as a whole. I'm not saying the roster led him to the finals. It was a very cohesive mix. But people want to praise Jimmy Butler like he did the impossible, like he did what LeBron did, leading fucking scrubs to the finals multiple times. He didn't win a finals either fucking time. All right? People want to prop down the bubble Lakers. Dude, like, prop down the goddamn bubble Heat then. Like, what are we saying? I'm telling you, this man can do no wrong in the mass majority of fans' eyes. It's crazy. It's crazy because of the fact that you get a player, like, imagine if Jason Tatum, someone who is more accomplished, who is better, who has won a finals, has a better resume than Jimmy Butler. Imagine if he did any of the toxic shit Jimmy has done. The fake scuffles during the fucking game. The fallouts with the teams. The practice thing in Minnesota. Imagine if someone like Jason Tatum pulled that shit. He would be the most hated, it would tarnish him so fucking much. But Jimmy does it constantly, over and over and over. People think he's fucking Teflon. I'm telling you. He is not a mafia boss. Like, why are people scared of this man? Genuinely, why the fuck are people scared of this man? And why do they glaze him to no ends? I don't understand. I really fucking don't understand. Jimmy Butler showing up to media day with the dreads, doing the emo look. If that was Jason Tatum, dude, if that was Trae Young, if that was LeBron, do you get what I'm saying? People would fucking clown these guys, but because it's Jimmy Butler, for some very odd reason, people do not care what he does, how he carries himself, how he walks around, and it just blows my goddamn mind. This might be the most god-level PR in the league currently. One of the top 5, top 10, low-key, it's pushing top 5 PR all time in basketball. We all know George Gamble is number 1 in the god-level PR. He has his own fucking tier of PR, Michael Jordan. But that's not what this is about. Jimmy Butler, I'm telling you, this dude has top 5 levels of PR. He's in the same boat as Kobe. It's crazy. Kobe, I am not a Kobe fan myself. Kobe has 5 titles. Kobe is one of the greatest, top 12 greatest players of all time. Jimmy Butler is not a top 50. He's not a top 75 player of all time. And people really want to talk about him like he is. It's fucking crazy. He can do no wrong. God damn, my dog going crazy. But Jimmy Butler can do no wrong in the mass majority of NBA fans' eyes. He must be a very fun watch for a casual, which I guess that makes sense. Because if you're casual and people are trashing on, LeBron for doing this or Tatum for doing that, you're just going to join in, blindly follow. And that's what it is for a lot of these NBA fans. It's just the blind fucking mice following each other. And that's really what it is when it comes to the Jimmy Butler glaze. It's just blind mice following each other. It makes no goddamn sense. I'm telling you, this is like one of my most heated topics, the Jimmy Butler glaze, bro. All right, I have to stop. My blood pressure's going fucking crazy. All right. Anyways, moving on. Cade Cunningham, whoops. It's a low key. I think it's average. Cade Cunningham has some average ass PR. If this was a year ago, it'd be in the bad because people were talking about him, talking crazy about Cade. We all stand Cade. We knew Cade was the fucking guy. We knew Cade was the goddamn man. And he almost beat The fucking Pacers almost beat the goddamn Knicks in the playoffs. That was my bold prediction. That was my upset of the playoffs, and it almost happened. Dude, Cade's a hooper. He needs more respect. He is putting the fucking Pistons, the Detroit stinky-ass Pistons, on the map. All right? They have been somewhat relevant. They have made the playoffs in the past 10 years. They pop in, pop out. But you go to the Pistons to, like, your career's cooked, man. Like, ain't no one want to fucking go play for Detroit no more. This ain't the early 2000s. This ain't the bad boys. But Cade fucking Cunningham is putting the Pistons on the goddamn map. And when they get the throwback jerseys, watch the Piston fandom turn around, man. They're going to be one of the most beloved teams in the league. Watch Cade turn this franchise around. Really watch this shit. Watch what he does, bro. I'm telling you, Cade next year, man, he might be in the PR working OT. I'm telling you, if everything goes how I really think it's going to go with Cade and the Pistons, this man is going to be glazed to no end. He is a hooper. He's one of the best passers in the league. Crafty-ass scorer. Like, he's just so underrated, which is crazy because he was an all-star. And he almost beat the Knicks in the playoffs. Like, that in itself, it's just crazy, but he still doesn't get talked about enough, especially coming into the year. Obviously, he was injured, multiple times every year. He was out majority of some seasons, but we all knew how good Cade was. And when he showed it this year, I don't think anything bad was said about Cade, but nothing like crazy good. It's kind of like the Lonzo, where we know. So just wait for the Glaze to start rolling in next year when the Pistons are a top 4 seed. Trust. You can book me, #bold predictions. Next year, the Pistons are top 4 seed. Led by yours truly, second team All-NBA, Cade Cunningham. Moving on. Bro, Steph Curry. It's not to the levels of Jimmy Butler. But his PR definitely working OT now. Like, it's not like a bad thing at all. If this was in 10 years ago, that shit would be God level. Like, Curry Mania. If you weren't an NBA fan, or like, if you really weren't in the sport during fucking Curry Mania, bro, I don't even know if anyone's called it that. But their run, their first dynasty, I know they won a ring 2 or 3 years ago, but the Curry hype was fucking unreal. I'm telling you, he took the goddamn league by storm. People want to say LeBron's been the face of the league for the past 25 years. Curry, honest to God, was neck and neck. You could not pick a face of the league more than Curry or LeBron. You really couldn't put LeBron over Curry when it came to face of the league, which is fucking crazy, because no one else in LeBron's time, aside from Kobe, that is it, aside from Kobe Bryant, the past 25 years, since Kobe's been in the league, no one's been the face of the league like Kobe, like Curry, and like LeBron. And it's crazy. It really is crazy. Like, Curry definitely gets some hate. He gets some flack, but like, he's definitely given more flowers than not. Especially at this age in his career. What he's been doing, that last ring really, solidified his place in history. People were talking, I'm not going to say talking crazy, but people really want to put Curry as the best point guard of all time. I'll be fine if you put him second. All right, I don't care. Magic's still the GOAT. Curry's definitely second best point guard of all time. I can see why people want to put him first, because that's where we're at right now. His PR is working OT. People, we know how good Curry is. We know he's one of the best of all time. A top blank player of all time. Like, we know that. But right now, the discussion around Curry, because his career's at the tail end, who knows how much longer he's got. People are now starting to trickle. Now are like, okay, like, is Curry like top 10 all time? Or if like Curry wins another ring, like people were saying, if Curry wins a ring this season, like he could be better than like LeBron all time. Like, he could be like one of the GOATs. That's fucking crazy, man. Get that shit out of here. People saying, I could see the argument for him being the best point guard of all time, but like, those arguments were not there 3 years ago. His PR is working OT now that he's at the tail end of his fucking career. There is now being heavy discussions on where he ranks all time, given his position, top 10, all time. Like, I'm saying, like, the shift in Curry's PR has been crazy. His PR team is Hall of Fame, given the how they've been able to navigate through the Curry lows. Like, dude, this man blew a 3-1 fucking lead in the finals. I don't care how great you are. This man blew a 3-1 lead, the first ever 3-1 lead in the fucking NBA finals. The first ever as a 73-9 team, the best record ever. And he somehow overcame that shit. That's how good this motherfucker is and how good his goddamn PR team is. That's how fucking good. This dude blew the biggest choke job in NBA history. With the best fucking record in NBA history. They lost 9 games all season. Out of 82 games, they lost 9 games. They won 73 games out of 82 games. And people want to put him as the GOAT. People want to say one more ring and he's better than LeBron all the time. That shit is asinine. That shit's crazy to me. Like, it's fucking crazy. But there's definitely a lot more Curry haters. A lot more, butts when it comes to Curry than Jimmy Butler. That's where I see the difference. Like, there's a clear distinct in the God level PRs that Jimmy Butler fucking has. Next, we got, sorry for the voice crack, Dyson Daniels. It's average. Once again, we're just going to scoot past this. No one's talking about no fucking Dyson Daniels. All right? It was good this year. Like, he was cracked at defense, let me tell you. Like, he definitely came onto the scene this year. He was getting glazed a little much, but he definitely wasn't getting hated, and I think it's just, it is what it is. Like, no one was saying he's the best defensive player in the league, this, that. It came and went, and, no one's talking about no goddamn Dyson Daniels. I'm sorry. That's just, it is what it is. Last one, because this is, if you're still fucking listening, I did not expect this shit to be an hour-long yap sesh, but, all right, last one. Who knows how long this one's going to last? Anthony Davis. Dude, Anthony Davis has some of the worst fucking PR in NBA history. Like, he's got worse PR than Giannis. And even though they're in the horrible tier, the horrible PR tier, that's where Anthony Davis is with Jason Tatum and Giannis. Low-key, Tatum's probably still got worse PR than AD. But AD definitely has a sizable worse fucking PR than Giannis, even if they're in the same tier. For how good AD is, it's the goddamn injury bug that's killing him. If he was never hurt, I know you can't play the what-ifs games, but if man, all right, that's motherfucking me, if AD was never hurt in his career or hurt substantially less, he's definitely better than Giannis all the time. Like, this dude was in MVP conversations from the fucking jump. One of the best college prospects ever. People forget about that shit. AD, like, they want to talk about Zion. They want to talk about Wemby and so forth. AD was that motherfucking man coming out of college. He was the guy at Kentucky. They had Kid Gilchrist, but AD was the guy. He was low-key the Wemby before Wemby, if we're being honest. And he has lived up. You cannot say he hasn't lived up to the hype. AD has lived up to the hype. He has been in MVP discussions. He should have probably won an MVP if he was healthy. He definitely wins an MVP. I guess he shouldn't maybe have won an MVP because he got stuck in the prime. He was on the fucking dog shit Pelicans. He made the Pelicans relevant. No Anthony Davis, dude, they're no longer in New Orleans. I don't care. The fucking Pelicans are no longer in New Orleans if they don't get AD. He had to fucking fight tooth and nail through the Pelicans teams that he was given. Though I will say, another one of the biggest what ifs, if DeMarcus Cousins stayed healthy on the Pelicans, they definitely make the Western Conference Finals. They definitely make an AD and Boogie. That is the best big man duo, top 3 big man duo of all time. That's the best big man duo we will probably ever see, or will of the past. Fuck, I don't even know, man. Like, it might be the best big man duo. Tim Duncan and David Robinson. That's probably the best, realistically. But for how well they played, even though it was such a little time, if they stayed healthy, dude, we were looking at something special, dude. No one at the time, because it was the small ball craze, nobody at the time had a way to stop Prime, you do not know how fucking good Prime DeMarcus Cousins was, man. His PR's dog shit right now. Let me tell you, DeMarcus Cousins was the most dominant center. I don't care. Fuck Jokic. DeMarcus Cousins was the most physically dominant center since Shaq. He was Shaq, but with passing abilities, and he could fucking shoot. He won the three-point contest at Team USA. Out of all the Team USA players, DeMarcus Cousins won the three-point shootout. Like, this dude had a strap. He was a fucking paint bully. And then you get Anthony Davis, one of the best power forwards of all time, a top 7 power forward of all time. Dude, nobody in the small ball era had a fucking way to stop these. You got Rajon Rondo averaging 20 assists a game. Dude, you throw that bitch up there, someone's coming down with it. DeMarcus Cousins' career was obviously never the same since that Achilles injury. He's been injured multiple times after, which is very sad. Another big what ifs. But back to Anthony Davis. For someone who has won a ring, an All-NBA player, multiple first-team All-NBAs, multiple-time All-Star, one of the best, the second-best power forward of our generation. You know, it's kind of sad, the shit that, because he can't stay healthy. He really did accomplish everything as being the number 1 overall pick. He's just missing an MVP. And when you're on a team with LeBron, a team where LeBron said, I want AD to be the guy on the team. Though, when you're in the finals, LeBron's winning that fucking finals MVP trophy. I don't care who else is on the team. AD went insane that season. He went insane in the postseason. People really forget like how good AD really is. He's getting up there in age slowly, especially with all the injuries. Now that he's on the Mavericks, I really don't think anyone's really going to be talking about Anthony Davis like they were on the Pelicans, like they were on the Lakers. Obviously, it's a smaller market than LA. The Mavs could have a decent team. They've got some veterans, some grimy-ass pieces around them where they could make some noise in the playoffs. They're like a hyper extension of the Clippers, like alternate reality, evil version of the Clippers of the past few years. Like, that's where I see the Mavericks being. Even if they get, when they inevitably draft Cooper Flag. But for someone of the caliber that AD has, the talent he has to lead a team to the ring, he led the Lakers to the ring. I don't care. He was the focal point of that team. He was the best player on that team, on that LA Lakers team in 2020, winning the ring. AD was the fucking guy, all right? And I'm telling you, a healthy AD, healthy Boogie, they make the Western Conference Finals. No one had a fucking way to stop them. Like, for some of the moments, for some of the clips, the viral moments AD's had, you get that crazy, early in his career, that crazy 3 from like half court he's hitting, like, his PR was at like probably an all-time high at that point, like very early in AD's career. His PR was definitely at his highest, and then it just kind of all slowly, like a roller coaster, just going down. Now we're down here to where everyone's kind of just giving up on him, especially with the trade. Like, people want to say, it's crazy because people say Luka got traded for fucking peanuts. He got traded for one of the best centers or best power forwards of all time. It's crazy. Like, people say the Dallas Mavericks gave Luka Doncic to the Lakers for nothing, and they acquired one of the best. He's not even that old. Like, realistically, he's what, 31, 32? I get he has the injury history, but to trade for one of the best power forwards who's relatively still young and still get flamed as much as they fucking did is crazy. It really is crazy. And who knows, right now might be by the dip, or it might be the dip of AD. This could be. Mavs AD could be Brooklyn KG. That low-key makes too much sense. I hope it's not the case, because I like AD a lot. He was one of my favorite players when I first started getting into basketball. AD was he was probably my second favorite player behind Wiggins. Wiggins is my all-time favorite player. AD was that guy. Dude, I used to rock fucking Pelicans merch for no reason. Literally no reason other than the fact that I liked AD, man. Like, that's crazy. Come on, AD ain't got no fans right now, it's sad. It really is sad given the treatment he's gotten, especially now with the Luka trade, how infamous all that is. So, he's not helping himself out being injured, but I really don't see AD coming out of this hole unless the Mavs realistically win a ring, which I highly doubt they do, but who knows? You never fucking know. So that concludes the first part of NBA players PR rankings. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was a long, like I said, a long ass yap sesh, an hour. I really did not plan on making it to be this long. If you fucking listen to it all, bro, I love you so much. I'll give you a smooch on the goddamn forehead. All right? Both cheeks, maybe the lips. All right? So, if you like this kind of, if you really did like the long form content, I know I make pretty long videos, already sitting at like a half an hour every video. I really try not to, but once I get going, I can fucking yap for days, and I just have to pull myself back and stop. But I'm telling you, if you watch the entire thing, or if you're at this point in the video, and if you really did enjoy the very long form content like this, let me know. I want to make, the rest of this. There's just a whole bunch more players I could talk about and, talk about their PR and everything. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Any suggestions, any videos. I've got a lot of fucking video ideas. So I'm going to hopefully start grinding these videos out. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys thought about this. If you made it all the way to an hour and 6 minutes, I appreciate you. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.